looked like a good team tonight at times. At times, we looked like a team that had been patting themselves on the back all week, and that's disappointing. And that starts with me as the head football coach. Turnovers on offense, missed tackles on defense, a couple, busts offensively and defensively assignment-wise. Couple an ineligible formation on offense, false start because we're illegal or we're not set on the snap. Just not very clean, and that starts with me. Obviously, again, did some good stuff. Know our guys will fight. They showed that throughout the game and never flinched and battled and always thought they were going to win that football game. I saw some big time individual plays tonight by guys. So there's a lot to build up on, and we're 2 games into November, and we talk about they remember November, and we've got an opportunity to go back home. Excited to finish out our season at Williams-Brice Stadium these next 2 weeks, and looking forward to getting back to work tomorrow with these guys. So really, really, really disappointing night. We're gonna, like always, learn from this one and then get back to work tomorrow. So with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
David's got the first one.
Hey, Shane, just the offensive line's problems. It seemed like they really just couldn't get on the same page. Missouri was sending a lot of free rushers at times. What was the main issue there tonight?
It was a host of things. Sometimes when you're in a 5-man protection and they bring 6, we got to get rid of the ball. There were certainly some times where we had couple of communication issues and turned some guys free that shouldn't happen or that we shouldn't have. And frankly, that shouldn't happen in the 10th game of the season. So really, really disappointing overall from that standpoint to have that. Missouri, I told you guys, they played better defensively last week against Georgia against the run. And, what you're going to get with them. They line up in man coverage and that's what they do, and give them credit. They did a good job. We hit some plays on them in the passing game. We had some guys open in the passing game that we weren't able to get the ball to, but we didn't play well enough, and we certainly didn't coach well enough tonight.
On Taylor.
Yeah, Shane, you guys played so well last week in all 3 phases, and tonight obviously you mentioned the consistency issues. How do you go about explaining that, and what can you kind of put your finger on that shows you kind of how this team didn't necessarily respond the way you maybe wanted them to?
Yeah, it's a good question. We'll look at the tape and see. And first of all, you give Missouri, some credit. They got their quarterback back, and they played well on offense. Going into the game, we knew we needed to stop. Beatty, and they handed the ball to him 34 times tonight. And he ran for 209 yards, and they threw the ball to him 9 times. He caught 5 of them. So obviously we didn't do a good job of that. We talked about one of the keys defensively. We needed the gang tackle and felt like we missed too many tackles. And then offensively, just, sloppy and not good enough. But again, we talked about it all week. That we needed to be a mature football team with the way that we responded to the Florida game and understand that everything that we did last week against Florida during practice, throughout the week, the way we practiced, how hard we competed, we had to do it all even harder and even better this week. And I saw signs of that in practice, which is the disappointing thing, that we would, perform like we did tonight overall. And again, we did some good things at times, but just too inconsistent.
Ben Briner.
Hey, Shane, in terms of your guys' inability to kind of get the run game going, did you feel like something tactically they were doing kind of got that gummed up, or was it really just more one-on-one battles, that kind of thing?
No, they last week starting against Georgia, they started doing a little bit more. They started doing a little bit more of just linebackers playing downhill and plugging gaps quicker and playing aggressive. They did that again tonight. They were flying those defensive ends upfield, and we missed some blocks from that standpoint. And then they were going to heat us up and pressure us. But it's no surprise. It's what they did to Georgia, and that's what we expected them to do to us, and we didn't do a good job overall of executing.
Ben Portnoy.
Shane, you kind of touched on the tackling piece. I mean, you guys have been pretty good tackling most of the year, and I know they've got some slippery guys, but what did you kind of see from the defense maybe, and what made things hard to bring guys down? Was it seeing guys fly to the ball? Was it a schematic thing? I mean, what do you kind of attribute to? I know you got to look at the film a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Just first glance. I mean, one, they got a good back. I mean, he's the lead in the SEC in rushing for a reason. It's not like all of a sudden he just came on the scene tonight. He's averaging over 100 yards a game throughout this SEC season. So let's give him a little bit of credit. Gang tackling was something that we stressed, and getting 11 hats around the ball, and don't know if we always did that at times tonight, and certainly playing snug against the run and getting guys up there, and just one very sharp tonight.
McCorn Blue.
Hey, Shane, your 3 running backs carried it 30 times. Considering what Missouri had been doing against the run all season, I know you said they looked better against Georgia. Do you think you attacked them with the run enough throughout the entire game?
Well, we ran the ball. Let me see. We ran, yeah. I mean, what do we have? Total plays, 65 plays, and we handed it to the running backs almost half the time. And certainly we got into a position at the end where the tempo we had to crank up the tempo a little bit to get, points, with the time becoming an issue for sure. But yeah, I do feel, I mean, we had 65 plays. I know they had some struggles against the run. And again, I told you guys, I mean, a lot of that got skewed a little bit against Tennessee early in the season. Tennessee ran for 400 yards or whatever it was. They're better against the run. Georgia couldn't run the ball last week against them in the first half. We should have been able to run the ball better than what we did tonight, and we didn't. And that's certainly, disappointing. But, we tried some different schemes and tried to mix it up a little bit as well. But it wasn't good enough. But, yeah, I certainly feel like we tried to attack them with the running game. I mean, we got in there and got multiple tight end sets and ran the power play, ran the counter play, ran inside zone, ran outside zone, ran all the stuff that we did last week against Florida. And obviously it looked a lot better last week than what it did tonight.
Corey Diaz.
Shane, you mentioned earlier you were hoping to see a more mature football team this evening. Can you expand a little bit more on that? And then also, too, just kind of the specific things that you felt like you observed during the week that you thought were going to be positives heading into tonight, and I guess just why maybe that didn't transpire this evening.
When I say mature, I just mean handling last week and coming right back to work. And we did. I mean, I saw signs of it in practice. I mean, we had a physical week. We had great energy. We talked about the Florida game was behind us. I mean, we were emotional and excited and had great energy about coming in here tonight. And don't get me wrong. I mean, we get a stop there on defensively on that last drive. I mean, everybody on that sideline felt like we were going to win the football game, but we can't play inconsistent in the second and third quarter like we did. But, I thought our meetings were good this week. I thought our focus in practice was good. Our effort, our physicality, all that stuff was good in practice this week. It didn't show up tonight as consistent as we would have liked.
Last question goes to Mike Yuba.
Hello.
Mike Yuba.
Shane, can you hear me?
No, I can.
Sorry about that. I don't know if you had an opportunity before the half during that field goal, if you had a chance to talk to the officials in terms of being able to have time with getting your players on the field. Did they give you any explanation, or did you have an opportunity to talk with them?
Talking about our people?
Yes, Coach.
Yeah. In a situation like that, they're really not going to let you of your people defensively. I mean, they know what's going on. It's a last second field goal. People are running people on and off. So, we practice all the time in that situation. Whoever's on the field for us defensively, those guys being able to line up in our field goal block team and go rush it. So, my question was just making sure that Missouri got out there in time and that everyone was set and that everything was legal from their standpoint. And apparently it was. I mean, that's a tough deal. I mean, can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't a lot of time. We always talk about kind of 15 seconds is the magic number to be able to get your field goal team on there, get set and kick the ball. And they were right on it and did a good job. Obviously that was a huge play in the game. Great job by our guys keeping them out of the end zone. But, that 3 points was obviously a 31-28 game. Pretty critical there at the end. Thank you.